to you. We gon' give it to you. Come on. Come on.
Welcome everyone to the future of banking, creating a contextually aware banking solution. Collectively, we're known as Elementary. My name is Andrew R. McHugh. I'm the project manager and development lead.
I'm Jaymon Kim. I'm the design lead.
I'm Joel Rodriguez. I'm the user research lead. And I'm Andrew Novotny, the content strategy lead.
So first, a little bit about the company we've been working with for the last semester. It's called Exodus. Originally in 1989, they began as Chromosoft, building a core banking platform. Eventually, this grew into a company that we now know as Exodus, and they added on internet banking and mobile banking platforms on top of their core banking platform. More recently, in 2015, they were acquired by Asseco, the sixth largest software company in the EU. Exodus software is used around the world, but specifically in Portugal, Cape Verde, Angola, Mozambique, and East Timor. And looking more closely at Angola and Mozambique, 80% of the consumer banking market in Angola and 50% of the consumer banking market in Mozambique all use Exodus software. When we first started working with Exodus, they gave us this brief: improve and adapt the way our customers interact with our products. We worked with them for a few weeks and helped refine this into a guiding statement or a hunt statement. And this is, we want to understand people in the Lusophone market or Portuguese-speaking market. We want to understand how they interact with money so that we may build a contextually aware consumer banking experience. With that, I will pass it to Jay.
Thank you. So, as Andrew mentioned, we want to build a contextually aware consumer banking experience. And to do this, we first need to understand what context is. So we defined it as the factors that form the backdrop of an event, action, state, or mental state. And within these, we created some more specific dimensions, which include time, availability, mental state, work, age, location, culture, and recreation. So, further exploring the topic of context, we created a monetary ecosystem. You're not expected to read all of this as it gets complicated later. So, to begin with, we first started out with one core concept. Let's look at family. Look at family, and try to branch it to other related concepts. So here there is marriage, children, events, and from this we continue to expand the branches to other related concepts. So health is related to family as well as savings. And from this we continue to expand more the branches that relate to one another, creating this whole monetary ecosystem. And with this we began a research phase. We came up with 5 questions that we wanted to answer, and which were all related to money or context. So the questions we had were: what is already known about money? What are our competitors doing? How do our users currently live? How do users think about money? And what do users already use and have? So beginning with the first question, what is already known about money? We answered this question by doing a literature review. And so one key insight that we got from the literature review is this concept of unbundled banking, which states that financial services just focus on one feature of banking.
Yes. This should be like newer financial services.
Newer financial services.
Yeah.
Focus. I think we should just
Yeah.
Okay. Blah, 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 blah. And then if we look at this chart right here, the banks in the middle are traditional banks, which include banks like Chase, Capital One, Santander, and these try to focus on all service features, including international P2P loans, and so the newer newer financial services are all trying to For example, TransferWise focuses on just on international transfers, and Venmo focuses just on P2P. Yeah. So we'll specifically be talking about competitors more with our next question, which Andrew will be covering.
Thank you, Jake. So we also asked, what are our competitors doing? And for this, we completed a competitive analysis, which was another market study. We divided our competitors into 4 distinct categories, starting with traditional banking, moving on to layers over banks, distant banking competitors, and off-the-wall banking competitors. Starting with traditional banking, these are banks like Santander, BBVA, Chase, Bank of America. All of these are older and traditional banks. They're larger and slower to innovate, though when they do, it's usually only a surface level UI change in that they make minor adjustments to their interface, but don't really provide a new, core, updated user experience. Beyond that, we can see layers over banks. These are companies like Simple, Movin, or PocoPay. All of these companies operate, or to their customers, look and feel like a bank. However, in the background, there are partner banks that help facilitate the transactions that go through these services. And so these companies are able to focus entirely on user experience, providing a good user experience to their banking customers, similar to distant banking competitors like TransferWise, Intuit's Mint, and Cash. The distant banking competitors are services that relate to money, but don't necessarily operate as a bank. And like their layers over banks, provide a core user experience, though in this case they're focused around some core function, similar to what Jay showed earlier on. So for instance, TransferWise focuses only on international wire transfers. Off-the-wall competitors, like Amazon Echo, Slack, and Facebook's Messenger, are competitors doing interesting things with context, and so we examined them to gain some more insights in that direction. And with that, I will pass to Andrew and Joel.
Great, thanks. So, how do our users currently live is the next question we want to answer. And to solve this, we want to do a photo study with them. So this helped us empathize with our users and better understand their lives and the context in which they take their actions. So this was one of the prompts that we gave people to take pictures of. So this one was that this one makes me feel safe. This is what makes me feel safe. And so this person took a picture of a painting, and they said that painting and acting made them feel safe, and they wish they could do it every day. Another prompt we had was that this is a big investment for me, and so this was one of our more surprising ones, was that this person took a photo of their kids and said that their kids were their biggest investment of their life. And so that helped us give some insight into people not only thinking investment in terms of money, but also thinking in terms of resources like time and energy spent. We also had another prompt was, this is where I keep my money, and this one had a very good insight that when people say this is keep my money, people think of physical cash or currency rather than thinking of a meta level like a banking institution. So to answer the next question of how do users think about money, we used interviews, and we interviewed 11 people from Madeira and 1 person from Lisbon. And so we interviewed and asked them questions about several of their different banking habits and questions about their life. And so through these interviews, we found that people want their security and privacy valued. They heavily value their privacy and security online, and they'll take multiple steps, like using virtual credit cards to when shopping online, to ensure that they are not do not get fraud or get overcharged. So the next question we asked was that what do our users already have and use? So to answer that question, we used surveys, and so we had 22 responses out into Portugal, and had people respond about questions about their technology usage and their daily habits and banks that they've interacted with. And through this, we found that people tend to spend money. People in relationships, domestic relationships, tend to split costs 50-50 with their spouse and themselves. Again, these are the 5 questions that we use to orient ourselves and navigate through our research. And these were some of the these were the methods that we used to help answer those questions and give us better insights into how people interact with banks. We also had general broad overviews of what our findings through our various methods. And so some of these were like, people needed to take multiple steps to do one banking action, and people desire, and this goes into that, people desire actually simplicity in their actions, and that many of the newer companies, the new layers of the banks or distant banking competitors, they solve these complicated actions that you would take on a traditional bank and make them simpler for people to do. Another insight we had was that users want banks to understand their values and wants and needs. So people want banks to understand that they want to save money, they want to invest money, they don't want to have ads constantly thrown in their face from their bank when they log on to their account. The next insight we had is that people are usually aware of their saving options through opening a salary account, opening a retirement account, and other things, but they'll not always take the steps in order to follow it, or they don't know how to follow it, or just don't feel motivated to do so. And then finally, our last insight was that people track their expenses through various methods, whether it be through physical mediums like a notepad, through Microsoft Excel, or mental notes, and people sometimes keep track of different gasoline. And with that, I'm going to pass it back to Jay to talk about possible design directions for our future endeavors.
So, moving past our research phase, we took on some design directions, and while doing this, we kept our HUD statement in mind, which was to build a contextually aware consumer banking experience. And so we took a note of questions we had, concerns we may face with our design, and design ideas. So for one of the questions that was brought up was, how can we effectively prompt users to start saving through a bank? One constraint, an example of a constraint was that users need to want their privacy and security to be valued and protected. So we would need to keep this in mind while designing. And one design idea would be to create a straightforward process that users will find easy to use and flexible. So with this, we created some visions. Here we show 3 possible ideas that we created from our insights. These include contextually aware servers, bots, and authenticity. And Andrew will be describing them more in detail.
Thank you, Jake. So if we look at the first vision, it is contextually aware servers. So using spinning behaviors and patterns from the users to take action. In our example, we have a couple who is preparing to have a child and start making some baby purchases. They have the child and continue to make these purchases. The bank is now able to see that there's a string of baby-like items purchased, and so the server could make a suggestion to the user. We see that you have likely had a child. If this is true, then how about you set up a savings account for your newborn? Our second vision was to use bots or virtual assistants. And so this is used for task delegation. Here, a single father and daughter. Here we have a single father and daughter. The daughter texts the father's at work, and so he's busy right now, he can't interact with her, but there's a bot who can. And so the bot is able to facilitate the transaction that the daughter needs done, and everyone is satisfied in the end. Should probably pause longer at the end of each of these. The last one is related to authenticity and easy access. So in this world we have a user. She's looking for a bank, but her bank doesn't happen to have branches. To get around this, the bank employs people through a video call that allows the user to interact with someone like they were at the branch, but the bank is also able to save money by not having physical branches. And this, again, in the end, everyone is satisfied. In summation, Over the semester, we conducted various research methods, took these methods and the data, interpreted them, and made insights, and then we created these final design directions to go off of next semester. Next semester will include evaluation and iteration of various designs and prototypes at different levels and with users. And with that, I want to say thank you from me and the rest of the team. Thank you.
That's 15 minutes.
California.
Wait, it was 15 and what?
30? 27, 28.
Well, okay, so maybe like 15.
Duran Duran.